Hey guys, welcome back to another interesting video. This tutorial is totally gonna be for new beginners and for those who don't know how to texture the ground plane correctly for their scenes. But first, if you're new here or haven't subscribed already, then please subscribe. And if you love my work and want to support, then you can follow me on my Patreon, or if you want my finished blend files, you can get them on my Gumroad page. And one more thing, the finished blend file of this tutorial for free download and the link to the textures are both available in the description. You can check them out below. Well, back to Blender. Delete the cube, Shift A, bring in a plane, tap to go to the edit mode, S2 to scale it 2 Blender units, Shift D to duplicate, move it to the side. Now go to the shading tab. Actually, I'm going to change the render engine to cycles first and GPU compute if you have a stronger GPU. Now make a new material for both of them, select one plane. While keeping the principal node selected, press Ctrl, Shift and T. A new window will appear. You now can search for the textures you have already saved in your system. Once they are selected, then click Principal Setup and it will set up all of these textures automatically for you guys. And for the other plane, I will be using another trick to bring the textures. Go to File and Append. With this trick, you can append any material from any blend file that you have in your system. You can use any of these methods which you feel is best for you, totally your choice. Now the material has been appended, but nothing happened. It's because we have to manually select the material in the material editor to use it. Now this is the material and we can see our planes are flat, like very flat. And like never ever use flat ground planes like these. They totally don't look good at all. And now we will fix them via displacement. And here I will be showing you guys two separate tricks to use displacement on your ground plane. Well, both of the shading tricks we discussed a little while ago will set up displacement automatically for you guys in the node setup. I'm gonna keep that node setup on one plane, but I will be removing the displacement node from the other plane because we will be using displacement via modifiers for this one. So go to the modifiers tab and select the displace modifier, click on new, then click on show textures. Click on open and search for the same displacement textures we used already and open it. We can totally see it moved, but nothing happened. Before we go to the render view, I will bring in a sun. So Shift A, bring in a sun lamp. Increase its strength a little bit. And now for the world settings, I will darken it up a little bit as well. Now go to the render view, but still we have nothing. Well, we also know that displacement needs a lot of geometry to work with. So we will subdivide these planes. Select any plane, go to edit mode, select the face, right click and subdivide. Have at least 40 number of cards. Same goes for the other plane as well. You can see this one changes shape while the other one didn't. To know what's wrong, select any of the planes, go to the material editor, scroll down to settings. Here we can see the flat plane has displacement set to bump only, while the other plane is set to displacement only. But the displaced plane, if I change its displacement setting to bump only as well, nothing changes because it's getting the displacement from the modifier and not from the material node setup. While on the other hand, if we change bump only to displacement and bump for our flat plane, it now has changed its shape. This is because it's taking its displacement data from the shader node, and before it was on bump only and wasn't getting any displacement data at all. Okay, now they both do the same thing, so why we should even be choosing one or the other? For that, we have to look closely to both of them. If we go to the edit mode, we can see our first plane isn't as responsive. We can see the displaced plane and also our dim flat plane, which shows this displaced plane is just an illusion for the renders and it is a flat plane even now, while the other plane collapses and totally go to the edit mode. I'm gonna shade smooth this plane first. One thing, you might be saying that these two planes totally don't look alike. Like it's not working properly with the modifier or what's wrong? But no, it's only because its coordinates are set to local while our other plane is using UVs. So we can just switch it to UV as well, and now they both are looking the same. You can change the other plane's coordinates as well in the shader editor. I missed this point while I was recording it first, so I felt I should clear it so none of you guys get confused later in this video. Now time for the big differences. Change your render engine to EV and we can clearly see our node displacement isn't working, but our displacement Y modifiers is working properly. So if you are an EV user, you should totally be working with the displace modifier and not the node setup one. Now another big difference, I'm going to quickly add a particle system on both of them. You can see our displaced plane is reacting quite nicely with the particle system and the other one is just flat. I'm not gonna dig deeper about the particle system in this video. I have many videos about that already on my channel. Now if we go back to cycles, you can clearly see the difference. Our first plane particles are pointing straight up while our second plane is reacting quite nicely in cycles as well. The particles are well distributed and aligned perfectly on the second one, but if we look closely on our first plane, it's not even on most of the geometry. It's high up in the air in some places and much under in some areas as well. And if we look closely, it's distributing only on the flat surface it is without the displacement node. And one more thing, if you are using the modifier setup and you love the shape, you can totally apply the displace modifier and you will have the displaced mesh, which can be further edited, directly can be used for weight painting without getting flat in edit mode. And we can also control them both even more. For the second plane, we have to reduce the strength in the displace modifier. While for the other plane, we have to reduce the scale on the displacement node, or it can also be done in the material editor displacement settings as well. So when it comes to lighting, both of them respond perfectly to the lights. Now it's your own choice which you want to use for the future scenes. In my opinion, displacement Y modifier is more flexible, more better, and has more control as compared to the displacement node setup. Well, now you have learned two different tricks and know how to correctly use them to make beautiful scenes of your own. Hope you loved the tutorial, and if you did, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, you can ask me directly in the comment box. Well, this is it for today. See you soon in my next video. You all take care till then, and happy blending.